Hi, this is Ian Thompson. I'm with the HBT group at ReMax, and this is the first in our series of seminars that we're going to be doing online, because we think that people want to be able to go online 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and find out about all the details about buying a house. This is an alternative to coming to a seminar in a hotel room or something like that. This way, on your phone or on the ferry in the car, you can find out about buying a home. And one of the big things about buying a home, of course, is financing, and with me today is Josh Minami. Josh is a mortgage broker at the Royal Bank, and Josh is going to give us some answers to some questions, just general questions about buying a home.
Okay. Thanks for having me.
Welcome, Josh. And I even wrote them down so I wouldn't forget the questions, so let's get started right away. If I'm buying a home, how do I select who to help me with financing?
Well, you're going to want to find somebody that takes the time to figure out what it is that your purchaser needs. Everybody's different, everybody's unique, so you want to make sure that they've got a mortgage that's tailored to their individual situation.
Okay, good. Now, how do I know how much I can afford?
Well, there's a standard formula that the bank uses to determine what your maximum purchase price is, but again, everybody's different. So what you want to try and do is set a budget based on your income and your lifestyle and live by it for a few months, see how it feels. And if you're comfortable with it, then you can proceed to the next step and make an offer to purchase.
So what I heard you say is you sort of live my life without the money to buy a house.
Exactly.
Is that what you're saying?
Well, the thing is, when you make the step to buy the home, you're probably going to be in that home for a few years. So it's a good idea to get to know how those payments feel before you actually commit for 3 or 4 or 5 years.
Right. Okay. That's good advice. Now, how do I go about getting the best mortgage rate? Like, you hear people say that, the best rate. There's more than just percentage, right?
Exactly. Well, to get the best mortgage rate, you want to make sure your credit's spotless. So, and that doesn't necessarily mean paying off all your debts. What it means is making your regular monthly payments and making sure that you make your payments on time.
Okay.
But to save the most money, you want to make sure that you get a term that suits your situation.
So a term can be any number of years? Or
anywhere from 6 months all the way to 25 years.
Okay.
And interest rates can be variable, they can be fixed, the mortgage term can be open, it can be closed, and that's why you need to have a good mortgage professional to help guide you through all the different options.
Yeah, because right away you think, open or fixed. You hear a lot about that too. How does a person...
Exactly.
Is it just my comfort level, or what would determine how I would pick a fixed versus a variable rate?
Some people feel more comfortable knowing exactly what their interest rate's going to be for the whole term.
Okay.
Sometimes there's some savings by having a variable interest rate mortgage, but not everybody's comfortable with that.
Right.
And there's actually some terms out there that are variable interest rates that have a safety net built into them. So there's a cap. So the interest rate's variable, but it won't go on beyond a certain point. So that's it's a good combination for someone who wants the savings of a variable, but also the security of a fixed. So many different options.
Okay, here's a big one. What's the difference between pre-qualified and approved?
And approved, okay. So pre-qualification is the first step in the process to getting mortgages. If there's 2 parts to getting a mortgage, there's qualifying the person that's paying it, and there's also qualifying the home.
Okay.
So you don't typically know variables like value or zoning or how much the property taxes are at the pre-qualification stage. So the pre-qualification is there to give you a guide as to how much you can afford, and once you've actually made the offer to purchase, then you can be fully qualified for the mortgage.
Because sometimes when we're out showing houses, people say, well, I'm pre-qualified, or because that can be done on the phone.
For sure.
But it's really...
It doesn't give you the right to, write a check for the house. The financial institution still wants to know what it is that you're buying. So it's always good to have a subject to financing in your offer to purchase.
Well, even I find in the pre-qualifying, someone on the phone, they don't ask a lot of deep questions. It's more on the surface. For instance, I make this much money,
right?
So I should be qualified for this, but you didn't ask me if I had a truck payment or if I had a visa payment and these things.
So during a pre-qualification, again, it's your mortgage professional should ask all those questions. They should do a credit check to make sure that you are qualified, and a financial institution is going to be able to lend you the money.
Okay.
That should all be done ahead of time.
And one of the things that I often am worried about when I'm working with buyers is, you know, they go and see you and they're pre-qualified,
Yeah.
and then they'll go and make an application to buy a car.
Right.
But before they find the house, now what impact does that have on?
Make the applications in the order of priority. So if buying the house is more important than buying the coffee table, don't finance the coffee table until you know what house it's going to go in, for sure. I don't usually recommend people increase their debt or decrease their debt before they've made the offer to purchase their home, because there's lots of different variables that can factor into what
So
they're
even
buying.
paying off some of your
Exactly.
debt isn't a good idea?
Not necessarily, because sometimes it makes more sense to carry a little bit of debt but go in with a larger down payment. Or maybe the home that you find isn't the right color and you need to have that extra money available for new paint or flooring.
Right.
So, like I say, if you are looking at maybe paying off some debt, maybe put that money into savings until you know exactly what you're going to purchase.
Great. Well, Josh, we're out of time. I want to thank you for joining us today. How do people get a hold of you?
You can get a hold of me through Ian, or you can call me direct on my cell phone at 250-713-0345.